Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I want to talk about something interesting that has come up a lot in my consultation calls. I'm going to word it like this. Basically, when they reject you, the avoidant kind of hopes you'll do something. Now, that's not really what it is in their mind, but that's what it looks like on the outside. So that's what we're going to say today is what's happening, okay? So I'm going to give a scenario before we get into the points. Normally, they're not actually rejecting you, but you feel rejected. However, they are rejecting you, but it's their maladaptive strategies, their deactivation. It's not the real them. And so that's why I'm trying to word it like this. The real person underneath their attachment style wants you, but their attachment style pushed you away. And so now the real version of them is wanting something to get back with you, but they don't know how to do it. And so they're hoping something, but their attachment style is also needing something as well. I don't even know if that made sense, but that's pretty much the mechanism of what's happening. I may have to be more clear about that later in the video if I can, but hopefully that made some sense. And as we talk about these 6 points, it might make more sense. It'll add more clarification because the first one is actually the most common one. Often, they don't actually want the relationship over. They just wanted the reduction of pressure. And so they often do a unfortunate type of technique where they push you away or demote you, girlfriend to friend, boyfriend to friend, or they just friend zone you, right? Whatever it is. And they start shutting down, they start pulling away, but they're actually hoping for a compromise. And they don't even realize it, because their emotions are so tangled. But what's actually happening is their internal self and their attachment style is basically screaming at them, and you, I guess, metaphorically, to compromise. And that compromise usually is something like, I don't want this pressure. Can we reduce the pressure? That's what they're actually asking for, but they don't know how to ask that. So what they do is they break up, they friend zone you, if they're a fearful avoidant, they're very hot and cold with you. Sometimes they want you, then the pressure gets too much, they pull away, then they come back because they can't. They're anxious and they feel like you'll leave them. And so this back and forth, if they're a fearful avoidant, you'll see that. Some fearful avoidants, what they do is they will check on you. So they're not going to actually reach out, but they're going to start like checking on your social media, or your group chat, or whatever things they're doing, right? Some dismissive avoidants do that. With fearful avoidance, it's almost like immediately, like a week or two after, okay? And for you, that might feel imposing, it might feel uncomfortable, because what's happening is they're wanting you to come back with a compromise, but they don't realize it because they're having all those emotions. And so what you can do if you want to is come back with a compromise and say, I can do this as long as you do that. Whatever version it is, I can be a little more understanding of you, of what you need, not what I think you need, but what you actually need, which is space, which is clarity, which is communicating clearly. I won't give the silent treatment anymore. I'll tell you exactly what's bothering me and tell you how to do it. But in return, what I would like is if you are more honest about how you feel, about being more open with affection, being more patient with me, etc. Whatever your version is, but coming back with a compromise can help. It doesn't have to be this direct, right? I understand if you guys have been together for like 5 years, that might be better. But if you've only been together for like, I don't know, a couple months, the compromise might be a little bit different. And so tailor that compromise to your specific case. And if you need help with that, you can book a call with me or email me. That's pinned in the comments, okay? The next one is if you two are already broken up, they want to remain connected, to build the connection slowly. This one is the one you guys miss the most because it is probably the most triggering. I would say like 60% of my consultation calls that I have with you guys is something along this version. Either they broke up with you or you guys are close, more than friends, and you're trying to figure out, why are we still friends? Are they using me? They don't care about me. They don't like me. Maybe you think, oh, she's just friends with me. She's dating another guy. Oh, he's using me. And none of those things are true, because you might verify with me, well, I know they're not dating anyone and we're basically in a relationship, but they call it friends. And so you guys are always asking me, well, how long am I supposed to wait? The answer is I don't know, and I'll never lie to you guys. But I will tell you how you can tell it's progressing, and it's usually they want to rebuild the connection slowly. So this means that maybe you guys will start hanging out more often. Maybe you guys will communicate more openly. Maybe they will compromise more with you. They'll be more aware of your triggers. They will be more extensive about how they feel about you. They will share things with you more often. And you will start seeing that the reality was the truth of them being friends with you was never about friendship. It was a way to get connected while not being pressured. I'm going to share something with you guys that, in these calls and in my sessions, an avoidant said to me in session. I'm not going to say specifically, but some of them are actually aware of this. And I know that probably makes you guys upset, okay? So I'm not saying what he said. I'm saying a version of what he said, okay? A version. I'm not even talking about him. Just an example, but let's just call it a he, okay? He said, as an example, I want a situationship, okay? So I'm like, all right, write this example based on things I'm seeing. And I say, okay, that's very fair. You want a situationship with her. She wants a relationship with you. Why are you calling it a situationship? And he's saying, well, we're friends, but I want to see where things are going, but I don't want her to pressure me for the direction. So I want to keep it open-ended so that she doesn't get any ideas, like straight up, right? And so I will obviously come back and say, okay, so basically you want a slow relationship. And usually what they say is that's exactly what I want. But if I tell her that, she won't listen. And so interesting enough, some avoidants know that they're doing this, which I understand is going to make you uncomfortable. It's true. Some of them know. They want to remain connected because they want to be with you, but they don't want you to know their roadmap, because they don't want you to pressure them. And if you guys have broken up already and now you're demoted to friends, they might feel like, okay, I remember in our relationship, you pressured me. I still love you and I want you, which is selfish of them, right? I still love you. I still want you, but I want it my way. And so I don't want to tell you the blueprint, which is very unfair. And so what do they secretly want when they do this? I'm not telling you to do this, but I am giving you clarification, because if I'm having majority of consultation calls with this, I suspect there are other folks who need this as well, right? Who can't really afford the services. And so I'm going to try and give this as much as I can. Of course, I can't give specifics. That's what the calls are for, but I want to try. Usually what they want is they want you to rebuild connection as if you guys are boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever your situation is, right? And build a relationship without asking for the label right away. That's what they want. That means going on dates. That means massaging each other, right? Cooking, whatever it is, without breaking up with them and getting mad at them that you guys are staying friends. Because once you crash out and do that, it's harder to get back together. It can happen because a lot of times they will come back. Most of the time they do. But it just makes it take longer. It takes longer. And so usually that's what they want you to do. They want you to be okay with what their blueprint. I'm not saying it's good. And then eventually it'll become something that you wouldn't realize long term. Some of you guys are actually in a long-term, literal relationship. It's called friends, or maybe it's undefined, but you're together for 5 years. That is a scary story for some people. But the interesting part is those people who are in those situations, or actually relationships, marriages, etc. Because sometimes eventually it just turns into marriage. That's usually what happens. They stay in the situation. They never call you a boyfriend or a girlfriend. They just get married to you one day. That does happen, right? It does. And normally these people who are in the stage before getting married, they're actually okay with it because they believe the connection is building. And so if you feel like the connection is building and you can see that, it might be a good idea to stay in that situation for a little bit just to see what happens. Push them, nudge them, and see if anything can be more giving towards you. That can be an option, okay? The next one is they want to see a shift in dynamic. So what happens is they want to see if you can pressure them less or give them clearer communication. So they might pull away or shut down or not reach out because they want to see you speak clearly. Because let's say, for example, you're mad at them and you're cutting them off. It happens. You're frustrated. You're done with this, relationship, and you deserve that. You deserve to step away if you need to. But what happens a lot of times, you guys want them to reach out and come back. And so they know that. A lot of them know that. And so what they're actually hoping for is you can clearly say that. If you can say that, a lot of times they will give you what you want. But if you're expecting them to just know that part, they're not going to give in because they want to see you communicate more clearly, because otherwise it's hard for them to want to stay in that relationship. So that's what they're hoping for that one. The next one is that they hope that you can try to see that what they're doing is enough for now, because it motivates them to give more as time goes on. I know a lot of you guys will not like a lot of the content of this video, but I made it because it's true. And I know I'm not saying for you to bend over backwards. Maybe it feels like that, and I can respect that. If you don't want to be with an avoidant, don't. But if you feel like, what's happening? How do I fix this relationship? You might want to try some of these. It might work. And so often they want to see that you can accept where they are right now, but I'm not saying for you to stay that way. I want you to push them for more, but I want you to tell them you accept it for now so they can feel less pressured. So let's say you have a female avoidant, right? And she is emotionally open to you. She tells you how she feels. She's connected to you. You guys hang out. Maybe there's no intimacy yet. There's no physical intimacy, but maybe there's kissing and hugging. Sometimes maybe you guys were intimate like once or twice, but it's really not that common. And she calls you a friend, but she hangs out with you a lot. What a lot of you guys do, an example, is you think, okay, why is she not my girlfriend yet? She's not dating anyone else, so I know that's not the issue, but she's not calling me her boyfriend. So I'm her boyfriend, but she's not calling me a boyfriend. And you'll think, okay, this is not enough for me. And you're right, you deserve better. But if you want her, right, you can't get both, at least not in this reality, right? The reality is sometimes you got to give and take. That's just life, right, with everything. And so often a good technique with this one is to accept where she is right now and then talk about it and motivate her more. I really like our connection. I'm really proud of you that you're able to connect with me. I'm really proud of myself that I'm so comfortable with our relationship the way it is. I would like if we could have more, but I also feel like you're doing the best you can, and I appreciate that. Sometimes saying that is enough to motivate them, because what happens is over time when you guys build rapport, you can say, you know what? I really feel like I would like to explore a further connection. Could we do A, B, and C? And sometimes they're going to react poorly, but if you put that on their radar slowly, inching towards that, eventually they will go ahead and give that a shot. Sometimes it takes a couple months, sometimes it takes longer than that. But eventually you will motivate them to not only be a better person, but also to be more of a better girlfriend or boyfriend for you. The next one is that they hope that you both can move past issues and not hang on to them. I'm not saying don't bring up issues. I'm saying don't hang on to them repeatedly. Don't bring it up continuously. And the last one is they hope that you both can take responsibility for what happened while still not harping on it. You take responsibility, they take responsibility, you commit to moving forward and not be stuck onto what happened. So I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.